This is VOA News. In Washington, I'm Jeff Custer. A Pakistani court Tuesday suspended former Prime Minister Imran Khan's corruption conviction and 3-year jail sentence. The ruling by the High Court in Islamabad came in response to Khan's appeal against his conviction, arguing it was unlawful and breached his fundamental right to due process and a fair trial. The embattled 70-year-old politician was arrested and jailed earlier this month after being found guilty of selling state gifts in office and allegedly concealing their proceeds. Khan has denied any wrongdoing. The Islamabad High Court also granted bail for Khan, but his detention will continue at least until Wednesday because of his arrest in another case for allegedly revealing state secrets. One of his lawyers, Sher Afzal Marvat, said they will continue working to get Khan released, whom he referred to as Chairman PTI in reference to his political party.
Fighting the legal battle in different courts, and we will try and to make it sure to secure the early release of Chairman PTI in almost all those cases in which the government may arrest him.
The UN's Children's Fund, UNICEF, reported Tuesday more than 1,300 schools in Ukraine have been totally destroyed in government-held areas since Russia's 2022 invasion, and others have been badly damaged. At a Geneva news conference Tuesday, UNICEF Europe and Central Asian Director Regina Dominicis said persistent attacks mean only about a third of school-aged children are attending classes fully in person, and many are forgetting what they've already learned.
They are struggling to remember how to read and write, how to do the basic maths. Up to 57% of teachers reported deterioration in student Ukrainian language ability. Up to 45% reported reduction in mathematics skills, and up to 52% reported reduction of foreign language abilities.
This is VOA News. Forecasters with the U.S. National Hurricane Center report Hurricane Idalia is strengthening as it moves across the Gulf of Mexico toward the southeastern U.S. state of Florida. The outer bands of the storm have reportedly reached the Florida Keys in the southwestern edge of the state. Much of Florida was in disaster mode Tuesday with only hours to go before the storm is expected to come ashore early Wednesday. At a news conference Tuesday, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said people living in the path of the storm need to start preparing, and that includes evacuating.
You don't have to go hundreds of miles. You can go to a shelter in a different part of your county, go to a friend's house in an area that is not going to be susceptible to the storm surge, hotel. All these things are good to do, and you should do that and heed.
Forecasters say the center of Idalia will likely come ashore in the lightly populated area of the Gulf Coast known as Big Bend before crossing the peninsula and drenching southern Georgia along with the Carolinas on Thursday. A European Union official said Tuesday the ongoing forest fire in Greece is the largest wildfire ever recorded in the European Union, and the bloc is mobilizing nearly half its firefighting wing to tackle it. In Brussels, a spokesman with the European Commission, the EU's executive branch, Bulash Uvari, told reporters about the EU's efforts to help.
The Commission at this moment is coordinating relief efforts on various fronts via the EU civil protection mechanism across Europe. So most notably in Greece's Alexandroupolis region, we are facing the largest wildfire ever recorded in the EU. In this context, we have mobilized 12 aircraft from our rescue fleet, together with over 400 firefighters and 60 vehicles.
Greece's fire service told the French news agency AFP the fire is still burning out of control in the Forest Reserve, a major sanctuary for birds of prey in the region. A neurosurgeon in an Australian hospital investigating a woman's mysterious symptoms discovered a live 8-centimeter worm in the patient's brain. Associated Press correspondent Charles de Ledesma reports.
Surgeon Harry Pryor-Bandy was performing a biopsy through a hole in a 64-year-old patient's skull at Canberra Hospital last year when something very odd happened.
I took my tweezers or my tumour-holding forceps and I pulled it out and I thought, gosh, what is that?
Bandy and a top physician are the authors of an article about the extraordinary medical case published in the latest edition of the journal Emerging Infectious Diseases.
The worm that we found was happily moving quite vigorously outside the brain.
The creature was the larva of an Australian native roundworm, not previously known to be a human parasite. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
In Washington, I'm Jeff Custer. This is VOA News.
Thank you for watching. Can you do me a favor? Please leave a comment in the comments section below. That would really help. Thank you, and see you again soon.